Good evening, everybody. Welcome to PatFacts. Patrick here, pat on your back, personal fitness. Hope everyone's having a great Wednesday here. Wednesday. What's love got to do with Wednesday? Probably asking. That's our topic for tonight. We're talking about love. I've seen a lot of posts today, and it's great to see posts that refer to love, and not just loving each other or loving that special someone, which is very important, but even better, loving ourselves, showing ourselves some self-love. It was harder to say than I thought, but it's okay. We're going to talk a little bit about self-love, why it's important, and some great examples I've seen today out there of love and self-love and how we can grow more. And it kind of ties in nice to our community chat that we talked about last week, because we need love. We can love ourselves. We can better love those around us and make sure that we're, again, sending that great message, that positivity pandemic that we want to send out there. And that's all going to come with some great self-love. Hey, Bonnie. Bonnie says self-care, self-love, definitely so important to have self-love. That's going to lead to better self-care. You're going to take better care of yourself if you have that love for yourself, that kindness, that caring for yourself that we all need to have for ourselves. So a great point there, Bonnie. We're going to look at that. So it actually kind of started even last night. Those of you that know Blake from the 3 Not So Wise Men and a Much Wiser Lady. Blake's also been on PatFacts a couple times before. He has a show on Tuesday nights with his friend Val, and they were talking about just messages and how they're received, and whether messages that you receive, are they maybe a call for help? Are they maybe putting you down? Or is it tough love? What's the message behind some of the comments you receive? And that really kind of got me started on thinking about this, and that really how you portray messages can really reflect how you feel about yourself. Because that's where it all starts from. We want to be able to have that good kindness for ourselves, be able to relay that great message. And if we think highly of ourselves, then again, we'll be in better mindsets, we'll be in better places to be able to better show and share that love towards others. And they mentioned last night, again, self-love and self-talk. The discussion started kind of about external talk and messages to other people. And are these messages we've received a cry for help, or are they coming with an intent of love? And then it really shifted to self-love and self-talk, and how much, I think it's like 98% of the thoughts we have during the day are negative. The self-thoughts we have are negative. Hey, Terry Fox, Ron, good evening. Thanks for tuning in. I think it was 98% or so of the thoughts we have towards ourselves are negative thoughts. And Val made a good point and said, think of, and you've probably heard this before too, but think of, would you talk to other people the way you talk to yourselves? Would you talk to someone you love the way we talk to ourselves, the way we put ourselves down, the way we negative self-talk when we try to do something new or put ourselves into a new position or a new challenge? That self-talk comes in, that little devil on our shoulder kind of kicks in and gets his megaphone out, and that negative self-talk comes in. But yet if a friend of yours or a loved one or a neighbor, a coworker talked about themselves that way, you'd put a stop to it right away. Hey, you're better than that. Don't talk about yourself like that. You can do it. Look at all the great things you've done. And I think that's really where we need to look and turn inward. We're all about kind of turning inward and starting with ourselves first and then working outward. And I think that's a very important piece to do here with our self-love. How do you talk to yourself? How is your self-talk? What do you say to yourself first thing in the morning? How do you help yourself through a difficult situation? Are you positive? Are you mindful? Do you reflect on lessons learned? Or are you like most of us and go right to that negative self-talk? And what we need to do is train ourselves. We've had years and years and years of practice of that negative self-talk and putting ourselves down and really kind of neglecting ourselves emotionally about what we can do and how we can handle new challenges. And Blake brought up a great point that even society has kind of trained us to do that. Comedians and stand-up comedians and comedy shows, that self-deprecation became funny. It became mainstream. It was a sense of of laughter and jokes. Someone can make fun of themselves and you get a laugh out of them, bringing that into their act, into their routine. And TV shows caught on to that, and other forms. So it became very mainstream and very common. And so now you're looking to break the ice or make a little joke with some friends. Typically, that's automatically where we go. And so what we need to do is be mindful of when we're using that method, because Val, again, Blake's co-host on the show, made up a good point. She's a former high-level skater. And she mentioned that watching Olympic basketball, she felt she could make the joke that at someone that's 5'1"-ish, she'd probably never play Olympic basketball. And it would be okay kind of making that self-deprecating joke in the right environment and in the right context. But it was important to know at other times when maybe trying new things, or maybe she brought up the point that she definitely would never play basketball at an Olympic level at 5'0". The chances are very high against her, and at the point of life she's in. But when there's some new challenge that you're facing, it's important to not drop into that, again, negative self-talk, that self-deprecation. We want to be positive about ourselves. We want that positivity pandemic. We want that to be spreading through us. So again, that's going to help us spread that to those that are around us. We need that self-talk to be on that positive level. So think about a time when maybe you're starting something new and just try to reflect back on where your head went. Where did your internal dialogue go? Was it negative? Probably. For most of us it is, myself included. It's something we all have to deal with. And again, it's something we have to retrain ourselves to do. It's a habit. It's something we've done forever. And maybe we've heard it from other people who negatively self-talk situations or themselves out loud. And we've kind of adapted that into our own psyche, our own method. So we have to untrain ourselves to do that and retrain ourselves to use that self-talk, that positive self-talk, when we enter those new situations. Trying to reflect on times when, yes, things were tough, but we succeeded. We came out of it on the other side better. Maybe we didn't even reach our goal, but we came out of it better on the other side because we learned a bit about ourselves. Maybe we learned what doesn't work. That's still a win. That's still learning about ourselves and getting better. That should be celebrated, not used as negative self-talk as far as, well, we can do this. That didn't work. Here I go again. No, I know now that this format or this system, this style doesn't work for me. So I know next time to not do that. It's a great way to, again, get better and learn about ourselves. We're all about systems here. We talk about that, putting systems in place so that we can have success in our life, and how a system and toward this goal can be transferred to this goal with some minor tweaks and adjustments. And that's what trial and error, that's what failure and having some unsuccessful attempts is all about. Learning what doesn't work. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve. You've heard me mention here, I've learned that some of the poor experiences I've had growing up that I held on to for a long time, I've recently opened up and learned and acknowledged that those happened to me so I could learn what not to do. They were teaching moments. And when I realized that and accepted that, then this weight came off my shoulder. And again, I wasn't so negative on myself. Maybe that person was right when they said that. It doesn't matter. They said it for me to learn, and now I'm getting better because of it. So I want you to think of successes that you've had. Think of things that have gone well and learn from them. Use those as your examples when it's time to self-talk, when it's time to reach a new challenge, when it's time to put yourself on social media multiple times a week because you feel like you should and need to and want to without much preparation and training. Where do you go? And then now, for me to look back over a year of doing these PatFacts, I've grown a lot. And the same thing with the show with Blake, the 3 Not So Wise Men, and Chris and Maria. I've learned a lot about myself these past 16 years as far as a broadcaster, a commentator, a fast thinker, an improver. I've been able to take lessons learned and apply them from that show and apply them to this show and apply them to that show and both of these shows and apply them to my brand and apply them to other things that I have done and that I'm about to do. And I know that if I can sit here with you, being attentive and interactive for 30 to 40 minutes and maintain great conversation, that I know I can take that platform into other areas and have success as well. But I need to look at that example and not the example of, oh, I did that PatFacts the other week and only 2 people showed up, or no one was there, or the interaction wasn't so high. That's where we go. We always go to the negatives, but try to reframe those negatives into positives and learning experiences, and then really focus on the positives. And what Jack Canfield, if you've heard the name, he's a professional development kind of self-help expert, wrote Chicken Soup for the Soul books and The Secret and those things. He's big on visualizing and manifesting what it is you want to work towards. But I listened to a podcast of his a few years ago now, and his idea for reinforcing positive self-talk was to simply say, cancel when a negative thought came in. So if you're at the start line for the Terry Fox run, Barry Terry Fox runs here. We had Edmonton Terry Fox run on last week, guys. So we'll have to get everyone on together and have a fun session. If you're at the start line for the run and you think, I didn't train as much as I wanted to, and I know I didn't have a great run leading up to this one, and I'm not sure what's going to go on. You say cancel, and you say, I'm here. It's a Terry Fox run. It's to raise awareness and funds for a great cause. I'm just going to go and do my best. That's all that matters. So you reframe the talk to a positive spin. So you kind of get rid of that negative thought. You replace it with a positive thought. Thanks, guys, for the feedback there. Cancel. Something simple like cancel. You see, I don't have them on now. They're upstairs, but I usually have my impact bands on from Todd Durkin, or my Get Your Mind Right. And his idea, get my rubber band on to fill in. His idea is he makes them nice and thick so they last. And if you get a negative thought or connotation in your head, you give yourself a little snap. You snap the band, he says, to get your mind right. That's our Todd Durkin mantra that he lives by, but he has the bands for that. So you give yourself the little snap and that little kind of that touch point to say, kind of shake yourself out of it. So think of ways to, again, reinforce that positive self-talk and to correct that negative self-talk, because that's what it's going to take. It's going to take the time and the consistency and the patience to retrain ourselves to have that positive self-talk. And that's where we're going to increase our self-love, and that's how we're going to have better energy, better mindset toward these new tasks that we're going to challenge. They're going to challenge us day to day. And Bonnie has a great point here. Say good morning to yourself. It helps. Definitely say good morning to yourself. Good morning. How are you? Let's have a great day. We're going to do this today. Let's make it a good one. Let's make it count. You only got to self-talk yourself a little bit. And it's very awkward to do, especially looking at yourself in the mirror, looking in your own eyes, and it's just you looking back to you. It can be very awkward and uncomfortable at first, but with some time and again, practice, repetition, you can build up where you give yourself a good little pep talk in the morning to get yourself going, motivated and inspired to tackle the challenge that lays before challenges that lay before you that day, that lead into that week, to that month. But it's very important to say good morning, or I love you, or you can do it. Let's get it today. What a great job you did yesterday. Maybe that's how you end your day as well. Great job today. Hey, we did it. We had those tasks on our list. We knocked off a lot of them. We made some great progress. We got those tasks done that we've been looking to do. Great job today. Proud of you. Let's get a good night's sleep and let's get after it tomorrow. Some of these self-talks that we sometimes rely on other people to give us that inspiration and motivation. But a lot of times, again, we need it to come from within, because there's not always someone there to give it to us. Maybe our significant other is asleep or doing their own self-talk for themselves. And what we try to is provide for each other as much as we can. Again, it may not always work 100% of the time. So again, we need to create some of that inspiration and motivation from within. And then it lasts longer if it comes from within. If we come from a place of self-love, where we think highly of ourselves, we speak highly of ourselves, we're confident in our abilities, then we can create more inspiration and motivation, because we have confidence, we have competence from getting things done. We talked about that loop before as well. We create that within. And again, that all starts and begins from having a positive mindset, which comes from having a high level of self-love, which leads to self-care, which leads to more confidence. And again, you can see all these things are intertwined. And if one of them is off, it's going to affect the others. So that's why, again, we don't when I talk about operationally fit, it's not just the physical component. There's so many other components into it. And if one of them is off, it's going to affect the others. If you're looking to improve your physical well-being, but your self-love is at a 0 out of 10 or a 1 out of 10, you'll see results, but you would see even more results if that self-love could be higher and higher on that scale out of 10. That's, again, going to affect your mindset. That's going to affect your energy levels. That's going to affect decisions you make with what you put in your body. What are you going to drink? What are you eating? Good self-love is going to help influence those decisions. So it's a great place to start. Or if you've already started some of these other components, great. Now let's work on this a little bit. So those other components can get even higher. We have even more success with them than we already have. If you've seen results in the gym, or again, in the nutrition side of things, or whatever it is that you've been working on, awesome. But they're going to go up even more when that self-love can get higher and you can really feel that good connection emotionally to yourselves. So that's my challenge for you, is to work on that self-love component in all facets. Whether you're challenging yourself with something new, you're talking to yourself during the day. Again, the choices you're making when you're maybe having lunch with friends, or having a snack in the evening, making your lunch for the day. Self-love is going to help you make the better choices that help you get the most results out of what you're looking to do and help you be at that high level of being operationally fit. And that's what we want to work towards. So let's find some ways. Try that. Again, that cancel word, or a no, some kind of cue that when that negative thought comes in, you can kind of cancel it out and replace it with a positive thought right away. I've heard other people talk about it in different methods as well. So again, finding what works for you, or a pause, or a no, or actually what I meant to say was, and reword it that way if you need to. You can kind of make it work that way. So let's work on that, improving our self-love. And let's hear from you. Let's hear from you in the comments, either live here or on the recording. What do you do to boost your self-love, to take care of yourself? And if you're watching on the recording, again, let's hear from you. What are some ways you've implemented? And as you go from today and try to implement some things and try to make them, improve them, come back to this video or send me a DM and let me know. Oh, I watched the PatFacts talking about self-love. Here's what I've done. Here's what happened. Here are the results. Here's how I feel. Again, let's follow up. Let's help each other get better. Your experience could help someone else. Maybe someone's having trouble improving their self-love and how they talk to themselves. So maybe something you've done that's worked for you, maybe that'll help them take that next step. Or maybe something they'll share will help you as well. We all want to help each other here. So let's share and let's hear the comments. Share this with people that you think maybe need that reminder of good self-love and how important it is. Because we need to make sure that we're taking such good care of ourselves. And again, that's going to help us take better care of other people. Thanks, Bonnie. This is great stuff. Great to hear. Sheila, how are you? Great to see you. Missed you as well. Hope you're doing well. Great to see your posts and everything you've got going on. Bonnie mentions, if I didn't succeed today, I will accomplish. So whatever wasn't successful today, then we'll accomplish on another time. We'll keep things going. So whatever successful wasn't here today, again, we can maybe push back to tomorrow, or we can learn from what wasn't successful today. Why wasn't I successful today? I didn't succeed, so why? Take that time at the end of your day to reflect. 5-minute journals and things like that, that's what they're for, is to reflect a little bit so you can learn on yourself and reflect and look back and say, you know what, I've been having a real struggle lately. Things aren't going as smoothly as they have been. What's wrong? And then you can go through some of those things and reflect. I was doing this kind of method and I switched it and I'm not seeing the results. It's not working the way I had hoped it would. I've been when I was having success, I was doing these things, and now I've gotten away from it, and I can see I'm not having the success that I was. What do I need to bring back? What do I need to start or change? That's why tracking, again, we've talked about before, is so important. Your fitness, but your mental health, your spiritual health, your nutrition, your sleep, That's why there's all these apps and journals out there to track, so you can have a record and maintain and notice things when they change, because it won't always be a measurable thing. It could be an energy level, it could be a feeling. Maybe your self-love goes down. Why? What's changed? I was talking so great to myself and taking such good care of myself. What's changed to make me not? And then maybe you can find something in there. Oh, I'm not sleeping as long as I was before, or my eating's fallen off a little bit, or I'm not getting my workouts in, whatever the case is. And then again, you can self-correct. But it all starts with self-love. And I've seen, listening to Blake and Val talk last night, my pal Jeannie wrote an amazing post today on Instagram about love, and how just love is there. You don't have to wait for it or expect it or achieve it or search for it or have some quest. Just accept that love is there and love yourself. And I'm going to share that on Instagram. If it's on Facebook, I'll post it there as well. Or I'll screenshot it and post it maybe if not. But her post was so poignant, so simple, but so true. We always think we have to find that love. We have to search for it. It's a quest, or when the moment's right, it'll just appear in front of us. And in certain instances, that's going to happen. But chances are it'll happen sooner if you accept yourself, and the love for yourself is as strong as it needs to be. That's when you'll put out that good energy and that vibe and attract that love from other people, because you'll be spreading it out there. You'll be giving off that energy of good love and good positivity and good energy toward yourselves. Again, that all starts from within and then works itself out. And the other post I saw that I was so happy about, my friend Sarah, who's a nurse, she's from Nova Scotia. I believe she's still in Nova Scotia. She shared an article about how a lot of healthcare professionals are taking time away because they're burnt out. Obviously, they've been pulling a lot of hours the last 16, 17 months with the pandemic and things going on. And she mentioned that she too is going to be taking some time away from bedside to recover, recuperate, and better herself. And she admitted that it was a struggle for her because she felt like she was letting her patients and her colleagues down. But then she mentioned that she wanted to be the best nurse she could be for those patients and for those colleagues. And she knew that in order to do that, she needed the time away to take care of herself, to re-energize and recharge. And I was so happy for her when I read that message and I saw that post, because that's the idea. We have to be selfless and put ourselves first so that we can take even better care of those around us. So kudos to you, Sarah, for doing that. I'm so proud of you for making that choice and that decision and not feeling pressure to not do that because maybe you're letting people down. But again, in the end, so many more people are going to benefit from you for being that high charged, happy, healthy, 100% version of Sarah that everyone needs. And that's true for all of us. We need that time to recoup and recharge and take care of ourselves. We've been through a lot these past 16 months. And just everyday life in general, regardless of the pandemic, we need that time to ourselves. We need to make ourselves that priority. So again, we can better take care of those around us. It's not selfish, it's being selfless when you do so. So that's my other challenge to you if you're not already. As you increase your self-love and your positive self-talk, that'll probably lead to some other things coming, but I want you to take really good care of ourselves. We mentioned that being that priority. We've talked about it before, but it takes reminding because we lose it quickly. Something comes up, something happens, someone needs something. We put ourselves on the back burner and we focus on them. And you can have even more focus for them and do even more for them if you take better care of yourself. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's a struggle. We all go through it. But again, the impact and the outreach, the spread of positivity that you can have on someone can be 10 times greater if you come from a great place. And again, we've talked all these things intertwined. So if you're taking really good care of yourself, that's going to help your self-love be a little bit higher. And you're going to take better care of yourself because your self-love is higher. And again, that self-love and that good energy surrounding you and your good health that you're in, the good spirits that you're in from that are going to pour out of you and reflect on those that are around you. Hey, Lori, welcome. So again, all these things are intertwined. There's not just one. We don't just focus on self-love and that's all we're impacting. Focusing on that's going to impact our other areas of our life. Taking care of ourselves is going to impact the other areas of our life. It'll help our self-love because we'll have a little more confidence because we're accomplishing things. We're taking care of ourselves. We're getting workouts in. We're eating better. Whatever it is you're working on right now, those accomplishments are going to create more self-love because you're going to have more positive examples to go by. And then again, when things become tricky or there's a new challenge or something comes up, you can think back, okay, you know what? I can do this. I went through a pandemic and I adjusted my life and I did things I needed to do and I made changes and I didn't see people I wanted to see for months and months and years in some cases. But now I can do this. I went through this. I can take that experience into this project because I'm in a good place, because I've put myself in a good place. Too often, again, we wait for someone to put us in that good place. You can put yourself in that good place because you deserve to be in that good place. Look what you've accomplished in the last 16 months, 17 months, whatever it is. You've done a lot to be a better person, to grow and evolve, to get through a pandemic, to help those around you. You deserve the self-love and the energy and the self-care to take things even further past this and to really grow and evolve even further than you already have. And yes, there are steps to continue to grow and evolve and improve. We're not there yet. We're not at the end yet, even though the pandemic potentially is subsiding. We'll save fourth wave discussions for another time, but things are better than they have been the last time we tried to open up and move through this, at least, so we can look on that and that learning experience. So what can we do to further that improvement, to further our travel down the road of working towards our goals and to ideally not suffering the way we have the past 16, 17 months when something else comes up? And it could be a pandemic, it could be a job change, it could be a family matter, it could be health, it could be anything. They say something big like this is going to could keep happening or could happen again to us in our lifetime. But even smaller everyday things have an effect on us. There's always challenges we have to overcome. And we can use the experiences we've developed these last few months and the community we've created here, like we talked about last week, to help us get through these new challenges. So again, we'll get to our comments in a sec. But again, our challenges for you is to really try to improve your self-love and your self-talk. Catch yourself. Listen to yourself when you talk to yourself. What are you saying? Is it positive? Is it good things? Is it upbeat? Is it encouraging? Or is it negative? Is it deconstructing? Then find some way to start replacing that. Find some way to reprogram yourself to have positive self-talk. Again, a little snap of a band, cancel, or what I meant to say was some kind of cue to sort of, or a stop. I think Chalene Johnson uses that one, stop. When it's just a negative thought, stop. And then again, replace it with a positive thought. And over time, we build that habit of positive self-talk being more common than negative. We're never going to erase the negative completely. It'd be great if we could, but we want at least to be in the majority of the time, whenever we can, that positive self-talk. And again, that's going to influence all these other facets of our life, which are so great. So positive self-talk and self-love is your challenge, and taking care of yourself. We talk about that. Make yourself the priority you deserve to be. Because like Sarah's post, she's taking time away from bedside manner. She's a nurse, but she knows if she takes that time away, she can be the nurse that her patients and her colleagues need her to be. And that's what people around you need. They need you to be at your best when your best is needed. So train yourself, put good fuel into your body, hydrate well, get your rest, get your exercise, your activity in, read a book, have some fun, do things for you that put you in that good place. And then the self-love and positive self-talk become even easier. So those are two challenges for that, for the next little bit. And again, come back to this video or DM me or comment on my Instagram or Facebook or YouTube in the videos. Just comment somewhere. Let me know what you've been doing and how it's going for you. So that again, we can help celebrate each other and how we're doing, and maybe your experiences will help someone that potentially is having a little bit of trouble with what it is they're working through. Let's see here. Sheila says, I found it helpful to remember my why. Yes, Sheila, so important. Why do I want to lose weight, or why do I want to be stronger? So important. We talked about our why here before, but the why it's your why. Why are you doing this? So many people say, I want to lose weight, or I want to be stronger, or I want to run faster. Why? Why do you want that? And when you really get down to it and remember your why, then you're so much more connected to what it is you want to do. Why do you want to lose weight? Well, I look after my grandkids twice a week, and I don't have the energy that I need to chase two little kids around. I want to have better quality time with my grandkids. Okay, there's the why to why you want to lose weight. So when you're not feeling your workout that day, or you want to have that Big Mac, or you want to stay up all night and have a few drinks, you need to remember your why. And if you're in tune with your why, and again, you're going to have better self-talk and make better decisions that will help you have better results and better self-talk and better self-love. Again, all these things are so intertwined that if one thing is off, and the why is a big one, if you don't know your why, you're just kind of floating around and having goals and aspirations, but it's hard to stay focused on them without really knowing your why. So as you're working on your self-love and your self-care, maybe take a few minutes and figure out your why if you don't know it already. Think about, why do I want to do what I'm doing? Why do I want to improve? Why am I here working on this project or learning this skill? Why? And ask yourself a few times to really get deep and figure it out. And if you're not sure and having trouble, then again, that could be time to hire a coach. So your coach can really prompt you and listen. Maybe just listen to your talk and hear, that's your why. What did you just say? Who is that for? That's your why. That's what you want to be focusing on. And then again, that can really help. And as Sheila's admitted here, and thank you for sharing, Sheila, she's lost focus on that recently. And we all do. We all go through moments where we lose that why and our focus and what it is we're looking to accomplish. And when you do, that's when negative self-talk can creep in. That's when poor decisions can creep in. That's when a lack of results can creep in, because we don't know why we're doing what we're doing. So, well, I'll skip today. I'll start again tomorrow. Or I'll get back to that next week. No, why? Because I want to spend time with my family. I want to have more energy. My cousin died suddenly. My best friend had a heart attack and died. I don't want to have that. I want to be able to be there for my family. I want to have a good quality of life. Whatever the case is, think of your why with any goal. It doesn't have to be health related. Any goal you're working towards. Why are you doing it? Why is it important? Why are you learning that new skill? Well, it'll help me get a better job at work. Well, why is that important? Well, I can better support my family. Why is that important? Go look deep, deep, deep within yourself to really find that true why. So thank you, Sheila, for sharing that and bringing that up. And again, if you're not sure how to find that, or having trouble or stuck, again, that's the time to look for a coach in your environment that'll help you find that why. And then the coach will also help you stay on track and direct you towards your why, or remind you of your why. Again, when you're having those bumps in the road and those hiccups, and you're not having the success or the desire or the motivation. Again, we talked earlier about inspiration and motivation, how we rely on outside sources to give it to us, but it's just temporary. If we can generate it internally by knowing our why, that motivation, inspiration comes from within, we see better results. We're more likely to stick to what it is we're doing. We're more likely to get up early in the morning and get that workout in. We're more likely to prep our meals so we're eating healthier throughout the week, because we know our why. You hear of a return on investment. If you know what you want your return on investment to be, your why, then you're going to work towards that and stay on track. And that's going to give you the inspiration and motivation internally that works 10, 100 times better than anything I can give you, or another coach can give you, or a public speaker or a motivator. Because what we give you will help a little, but it only lasts so long. And then you need that kind of hit. You need that fix of inspiration, or that, you can do it. But again, self-love, better self-talk, knowing your why, all these things generate that from within. And our pal Brendan Burchard says a power plant doesn't have energy. it generates it, it creates it. So we don't always just have motivation, inspiration. We have to create it and generate it. And knowing your why can be a huge log on the fire to make it burn and stoke it and have it going for you, so it burns for a longer period of time. Kindling and twigs and sticks give you a little burst, but then it dies out. That's what externally we get for motivation. But if you throw a nice big log on the fire, it's going to slow burn for a long period of time. And that's that why. Your why is that big log on the fire. You throw it on. It may take a little while to get going, but once it catches, it's going to burn and slow burn for a long period of time. So your energy, your inspiration, motivation stay here. It doesn't flash and come down. It stays up here and burns there for a longer period of time. And that's what you want to focus on. That's why knowing your why is so important. And then again, it ties into self-care, self-love, and all those things as well. And just one more comment I see here. Bonnie mentions you're the best project to work on. So true. And again, if you work on yourself, that's going to trickle down into other people around you. Others are going to benefit from you improving yourself. So the best project to work on is yourself. So make yourself a project. Find your why. Find a goal. Why is that important? And again, plan it out. Put it down on paper. Put it in a notepad. Share it with someone. Put it down so you can see it and be reminded of it. And then again, we track, we monitor what we're doing. Always knowing our why, always knowing our goals, always knowing the project that we are. We say here, ascend till the end. We always want to get better until that very end when there is no more. So again, you're always an ongoing project because we're always getting better, we're always improving, always making ourselves the priority again that we deserve to be. And there's going to be bumps in the road and things that take our focus away at times. It happens. Again, don't beat yourself up about it. Understand it happens and work on bringing yourself back in. If you've had those bumps in the road, my third challenge to you is tonight, we've mentioned before, take a few moments, maybe reflect on what's derailed you, just so you know what it is for next time to try to maybe avoid it or steer clear of those things that have derailed you. But then take a few moments to plan for tomorrow, to get back on track. And don't just say, I'm going to get back on track, or I'm going to get my focus back. Make a plan. Tomorrow I'm going to do this. And maybe I need to remember your why. Why was I doing this before? What was the reason? Oh, right, this is the reason. So tomorrow I'm going to do this to get me back on track for tomorrow. Just focus on tomorrow and then take it one day at a time from there and get that momentum going again. And again, work on your self-love, your positive self-talk, and taking such great care of yourself. So those are the three things I want you to work on. And again, if you've been off the rails a little bit, take a moment tonight to prepare for tomorrow. You just get back on them. Simple things to get us going in motion. So again, you can do this. I believe in you. Now it's time you believe in yourself and tell yourself that you believe in yourself. That's it for tonight, gang. Thanks so much for being here. Again, it's always great to see everyone and see some familiar faces pop back in. Hope everyone's doing well. Again, we're here every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch and Instagram. So hopefully you'll join us live then. If not, again, the replays are posted where we can. So check them out again. Comment, let us know how you're doing, how things are going, what you're doing to work on those three things we talked about and the results you're seeing. So great to see everyone. Stay safe, take care. Remember, we're not out of the woods yet, so keep that self-care high. Make good choices. Be consistent with what you've been doing. And remember, always make yourself the priority you deserve to be by striving to be operationally fit. Stay safe, everyone. Have a great night, and we'll talk to you soon.